Today is the second day of rain. Just as we have been raining Bhagwan's powerful Nama, it's been raining as accompaniment for us. And we quite enjoyed both the rains. Now before we submit the prayers of our evening, we shall see a very interesting story, a true story, which depicts very clearly the way the grace works. Particularly, whenever Bhagavan said, "My Father blesses you," we have heard it repeat. We have heard him repeat it several times to several people. In fact, there were many people with whom he would not talk much. The way he blessed them was only this: "My Father blesses you." Now this is a true story about this statement, this benediction of Bhagavan. In Rasipuram, near Salem, there was one Shekhar who lived with his father, mother, and the two sisters. The father was running a tea stall there. They had only meager income every month. And then Shekhar had studied only up to 10th standard, and after that he began to arrange for some business or the other, but always met with failure. With the result, he incurred quite a loss of money, which meant a lakh or two. And naturally, he was unable to give money back. So very soon the debtors began to crowd and started to abuse the Shekhar and his family. They were very honest people. They had kept up their honor also with people. And yet, this situation had developed all of a sudden, and they were at a loss to know how to handle it. This abuse from many debtors. Then one day, Shekhar was so frustrated. He was just married, the new young wife, just a few months before. He was very pained to see how his parents were suffering because of his own stupidity in the business, and how the new young wife was also suffering because of that. He felt life was not worth living anymore. He began to get suicidal thoughts, and one day he thought, okay, I will give up this body. What have I found about life? It's all only problems. So as he was walking ahead, thinking how to commit suicide, suddenly his father's face appeared before him. He thought of his father. Father was very fond of him, very affectionate towards him. Even if he came a little late home, immediately he would ask very concernedly, "Shekhar, why have you come so late?" Thinking of his father's love, his concern and care, he could not go ahead with the idea of suicide. As he walked a little ahead, there was a shop. He found a book prominently placed there. The title of the book read like this: "My Dear Father." Just when he was thinking about his father, he contained his impulse to commit suicide. His eyes fell upon this book. Immediately he reached out for it. He went to the shop. He bought that book. And he opened it. What did he find? A shock was waiting for him. The book was written by a very popular writer in Tamil Nadu, Sri Balakumaran. When he opened, the page read like this: people often find themselves in great difficulties, in great sufferings, in a fix, in a crisis, and they do not know how to run their life anymore. They do not find life worth living anymore. And then they all want to commit suicide. Those who contemplate on suicide, please go to Tiruvannamalai and see my Gurunath, my Gurudev, Bhagavan Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar. When he read that, it was as though God was talking to him. So he gave it a thought. Why not go to Tiruvannamalai and see the Swami? He never particularly cared for God-men, though of course he worshipped the conventional gods. This was the first time, and then somehow he managed to earn enough money to go to Tiruvannamalai. He came with such eagerness. In fact, he thought it was going to be a turning point in life, that this Swami would bless him so nicely and then things would change dramatically, etc., etc. He imagined so much. He was banking on this particular darshan. He came with great difficulty to the ashram, and then when he was called, he prostrated before Bhagavan, and Bhagavan raised his hand and said, "My father blesses you," and then immediately dismissed him. He did not know what that English sentence meant. He had no sufficient English to know, to understand what it was all about. It was a shock to him that Bhagavan dismissed him so quickly after pronouncing something in English which he didn't even understand. He had heard that Bhagavan knew the thoughts of other people. Wouldn't Swami know that he did not follow English? Why would he pronounce something in English? It was a great disappointment to him. He dismissed the whole thing as something not even worth remembering. He was very, very disappointed when he reached home. Those people, his parents, everyone, because they had all had very high hopes about his going to Tiruvannamalai. But he came back and cried so much. He said, what kind of Swami is he? He said, that man, I went to see that man, and that man didn't care at all. He just raised his hand and said something in English, and that's all he did. So let us not pay attention to these things anymore. He removed all thoughts about it. The whole family was very upset, disappointed with that man of Tiruvannamalai. This is the way he was addressing him all the time. And then one day, just a few days after that, a friend of his visited him. And that friend inquired, "You went to Tiruvannamalai, what happened?" He said, "That man in Tiruvannamalai didn't care much. He just raised his hand and said something in English. And they say the translation is that my father is blessing you." But what kind of man is he? I did not feel inspired at all. Nothing happened after that. But he said that. He said, only my agony has increased after meeting him. But that friend did not say anything. He simply left the place, and again, Shekhar was very upset, even more upset than ever before. But the very next day, that friend turned up. He turned up, and then he put a packet in the hand of the Shekhar and said, please use this money. There is 1 lakh rupees here. I have mortgaged the jewels of my wife and brought this money to help you out of this situation. Shekhar could not believe his eyes. Immediately, he understood it was all because of that man in Tiruvannamalai. He raised his hand and said something like, Father, and maybe it was his blessing that this is happening. Immediately, he gave that money to all those debtors who were troubling him so much. And there was still more, something left, but he thought he could manage it very well later on. And now he was really impressed. He thought there must be something more about this man which he did not understand. So after some time, he joined a company. He began to work to get a salary. And then he saved enough, 150 rupees, because 70 rupees for one way, and then 70 rupees to return the bus ticket. And therefore there will be 10 rupees extra. So he could manage. So he took that money, he bought a ticket to Tiruvannamalai, boarded a bus. And here now he was imagining, okay, it is going to be really a turning point in my life. 1 lakh rupee does not fall into your hands just like that, out of the sky. But it did after that man pronounced something. So he said it was worth seeing him again. But what happened? On the way, the bus, the tire got punctured, so the journey was delayed. But somehow he managed to reach Tiruvannamalai, and he had only 80 rupees now in hand. With all those great difficulties, he reached Tiruvannamalai only to be told by people there that Swami had already left the ashram and he had to come only next day. Swami would not come in between. You come tomorrow 10 o'clock, you can have his darshan. Again he was very, very upset. My God, why is this man doing this to me? But then somehow he felt a determination to stay back and see this man and go. So he was feeling very hungry. He had just enough for the bus ticket and he had very little money left apart from that. And so he went to a tea shop, bought a tea for himself, and after that, next to Ramanashram, there is a tank and there is a mandap near that. So he went and laid his body there for the night, to spend the night. He said, okay, it doesn't matter. He also bought a cigarette, a beedi, that countryside, the village type of cigarette. And with that he was happy for the night, and he went and lay down in the mandap. But then soon there were mosquitoes. The way they were attacking, he could not have a wink of sleep. Again he started to curse this man. I have come all the way, spending so much money which I could not afford, and all that I meet with here is only this condition. I have nothing to eat. I have no place to spend the night. And here some swear, and just see these mosquitoes. Why are you doing it to me? He was very, very upset about the whole thing, about his meeting this man, banking on him so much, and finally meeting with all these adversities. Just then, an old man came near him. And this old man said, Brother, Wake up, wake up. This man was irritated. He said, why are you waking me up? What do you want? He said, no, I want to go to Yogi Ram Saratkumar ashram. I want to have darshan of Swami. How do I go? I don't know the way. Then this Shekhar said, just go straight. You see that lane? Go down and you will come across the ashram. Can I have darshan of this Swami? No, no, you cannot have. He has left the ashram. He can be seen only tomorrow morning again 10 o'clock. You better go and spend the night somewhere and come tomorrow morning. Then this old man wouldn't leave him. He kept on asking him. He said, okay, how do I spend the night? Where will I? Is there a hotel or something where I can find a room? Then the Shekhar was really irritated. But then he had to contain his irritation and say, okay, next to Ramanashram there is Seshadri ashram. There, if you ask for a room, they will give. But you have to pay a fee for that. Oh, that's okay. Please come. You come with me. You show me the way. Shekhar thought, what is this man doing? So irritating. But then he is an old man and it's very dark. It's late in the night. Okay, I will show him the way. So he accompanied this man. And as soon as they entered Seshadri ashram, instead of going straight to the office, the old man, there is a hotel inside, Akash Hotel, inside Seshadri ashram. So this man went to the restaurant and said, okay, we will have something. But Shekhar said, no, I don't have money for all that. I've had my tea for the night. So you, if you want, you go and have, and I'm going to leave now. And the old man said, no, please come with me. We'll have something, I will pay for you. He compelled him to come with him, and he fed him also nicely. Now Shekhar began to think, what is this? I was cursing this man, that Swami, but now he has arranged for food for me. And then after that, when they came out, Shekhar wanted to go away. He said, okay, you go to the office and you find a room for yourself. I'm leaving. But the old man wouldn't let him go so easily. He said, no, you come with me. And then he booked a room. And when he booked a room, he said, there are two of us. Again, Shekhar was shocked. And then the old man compelled him to come with him and spend the night in the room. So the whole night he spent there. And the old man, before going to sleep, he said, tomorrow early morning I'm going for Giri Pradakshina. If you don't want to come, it's okay. But when you leave in the morning, you hand over the key, the office. And the old man went to sleep, and very early morning he left also. So Shekhar woke up late, and then he went to the office to hand over the key. But the office people said, you know that old man, he wanted you to have your breakfast. He's already paid the hotel for it. Please go to the hotel and have your breakfast. There was another shock. So somehow he went there. He handed over the key and then went to the restaurant. And he had his food, morning food also. He was very happy. Oh, Swami, that man is doing something. He gave me food yesterday night. I complained. And then he gave me the room also, and now he gave me breakfast. So he thanked those hotel people and was about to leave. And then the hotel proprietor said, brother, come here. He handed over 100 rupees, saying, that old man asked us to give you this money. Shekhar was now stunned. He stopped thinking about everything. He said, what is happening? This is really a miracle. Oh, Swami is a miracle man. I was cursing him. I was abusing him. But just see how he had arranged everything for me. And then he went to ashram. He came to the ashram. He had darshan of Bhagwan as usual. Bhagwan did not say anything. He just raised his hand, said the usual, my father blesses you. Now you can leave. But this time, Shekhar was not disappointed. He thought, oh, that man, is not an ordinary man. There is power in him. And what is more, he seems to be with me, he knows all my needs, and he is supplying them through somebody or the other. So that man is a God man. So he agreed finally, and this time he went home happily and told his people that this was really a turning point in his life. Just see how Bhagavan took care of him. And after that, it was progress after progress for him. Very soon he was thinking of starting a business, leaving this monthly meager salary, and then his business picked up. Again something happened. The day he started his business, he put up a picture of Bhagavan there, lighted the agarbatti, and he was waving it before Bhagavan's photo. He had come to know about the butterfly from Mrs. Anu Vennila. When he had come to the ashram once, he met her because she had already written a book on Bhagavan, and that impressed him so much, and he was very happy to meet her. At the time he learned from her that Bhagavan would come often in the form of butterfly. So he was thinking about it while doing that, and suddenly out of the blue, a butterfly came right inside. It went round his head 3 times, and then the machine he had kept, again it went round the machine and then flew away. This was again a miracle for him, and he was so happy because he knew that his business was going to develop very well. So his life truly changed. He started with 5 people as workers below him, and after that it became 35 people under him. He picked up business. He also wrote some songs on Bhagavan and produced a CD. And it was released in the ashram itself. So this story says, Bhagavan, whenever he pronounced, "My Father blesses you," it's not just a statement in English. It is truly a great blessing. Accordingly, things would follow after that. So now here, Bhagavan's Murti, we are sitting right before him, where a living force, Bhagavan is a living force here. He is smiling with his hand raised in benediction, and his hand is saying all the time, "My Father blesses you." So Bhagavan is blessing all of us all the time. We offer our prayers at his feet and say, Bhagavan,